Today on Fullstack, we'll be answering the tough questions. Like, is it creepier to wear everything but pants? Or nothing but pants? Stay tuned. Say hey everybody, Golf House here, and welcome back to the Stack. This is episode 4 on the Fullstack gaming server. When last we spoke, we worked on our nether tunnel and found ourselves a home at the end of it. Since that time, let's go ahead and gear back up. I have got to fix this armor up. Even though this stuff has Unbreaking 3, it's starting to wear down. As you can see, we've got the nether tunnel done. I am super pleased with the way that it has turned out. The alternating between the shiny gray stuff and the shiny white stuff is really good. I've implemented Yopi's cobblestone fences through here. The only part that I'm not real pleased with is this corner here. It didn't quite fit. You see, I'm kind of one spot too short on this side to keep the pattern going, and as you can see, it goes all the way down there. Not real happy with the way that the corner turned out. I'm gonna come back to this a little bit later on down the line though. But yeah, our nether tunnel is finished and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Since we last spoke, I've also been doing some work out here at the base. Yopi and I have been kind of talking about what we're going to call this land. She came up with the colony, which I kind of like. I think we're going to go with that because we're pretty far away from the rest of civilization. So I've been out here at the colony land kind of flattening things out. I didn't want to make it too flat. I was actually going to take this entire level out and go all the way back. But then I thought, you know, a little bit of elevation shift would probably be a good thing. But I was out here kind of flattening all this out and I made a discovery. Now, back in the last episode, we talked about the fact that if you came over to the shoreline and went out about 150 blocks that way, you were going to find an ocean monument. What I didn't realize at the time was that if you came out this way about 2 blocks, you find another one. And that thing is super close to the land. Let's go over there. I've got a couple of ender pearls left, so this might, well, you know what, let's save the ender pearls for now. Let's just take a scenic stroll through these trees here. And I'll show you the ocean monument. It is so close to the land that that you get the mining fatigue effect before you even get into the water. If we come over this way and have a peek, yeah, you can see just how close it is to this little patch of land here. Interesting thing about Optifine and the zoom feature, you can pretty clearly make out the outline of the farm, not the farm, of the monument from here. When you zoom in, you kind of lose some of that detail, which is interesting to me. But yeah, I don't want to get too close yet because I don't want to get that mining fatigue. If I stand right about there, I catch it. I catch the mining fatigue. So this is this I think is going to be our next project here on Fullstack, is to kind of neutralize this this ocean monument. I don't want to turn this into a farm because we're not really going to need one. Moshmo has been working on a farm with another monument that he found. That's getting close to completion, I think. I don't know exactly how far along he is at it. I would go and show it to you, but he hasn't really put out any videos on it just yet. So we're going to let him have have that honor. But we're going to take this one on. And I could go and do this the old-fashioned way. I could kind of armor up. I've got the iron armor. That's not going to do against Guardians. Go get some diamonds, gear up, get some potions, go through the process of taking it on. But there's other people out there who have done that sort of thing, and they do it a lot better than I would. So we're going to do it in kind of a silly way. You saw those chests up there. I have found a desert about, I don't know, 1,000 blocks that way. And I've been collecting a bunch of sand because I have given myself my own little challenge. And the challenge is going to be to defeat the monument without getting wet. Now, obviously, I'm probably going to get wet at some point because a guardian is going to come along and shoot me into the water, but I'm not going to purposefully dive into the water to try to take this on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to establish a perimeter around the monument, and then I'm going to go into these chests, which are pretty full of sand, and I'm going to dry the monument out from the top down. So I think what I need to do is go ahead and grab me some cobblestone so I have something to put the sand on to let it fall and get that perimeter set. And once I've got the cobblestone perimeter, I'll come back and show you what I've been up to. On Hermitcraft, they call these fart bubbles. I just call them annoying. And every time that thing comes across, it creeps the out of me. Anyway, we've gone ahead and we've gotten our cobblestone perimeter set. I've been getting eyeballed by the occasional guardian, but so far they haven't really tried to take any shots at me. So that's good, at least. I think they can. In fact, I know they can find and shoot you from outside of the water. There's one down there kind of floating around. But so far, I've managed to get lucky, and they haven't taken too many shots at me yet. So we've gotten the perimeter set, and now I am going to go ahead and start loading myself up with sand. Because we're going to try to dry these guys out. Now, it's not going to be one of those things where I just plaster sand across the entire thing. I don't have nearly enough sand to accomplish that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a first layer of sand, and then a second layer, and then a third layer. And then what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll dig out the second layer, move that sand over to the fourth layer, then dig out the third, and kind of go in that direction. In order to do that kind of digging, though, I'm going to have to get a ton of milk in order to counter the effects of this mining fatigue. So let me go ahead and ditch some of this stuff that we are no longer going to need, and start loading up with the sand. We can, tell you what, we'll ditch this shovel for the new one. We'll keep the bow around just in case. I think we can get rid of this stuff. We'll keep the shovel just in case we need it. And yeah, I think that's going to be a good starting point. And this is probably just about the right time for us to get to Lapsa. So I've been plugging away at this ocean monument for a couple of days, and I've made some pretty significant progress. Yeah, about that. It turns out, in my usual fashion, I have made a bit of an error. I've grossly underestimated the amount of work that this is going to take. As you can see, we haven't even gotten really to the center platform yet. I see you over there. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You step away. Tell you what, these fart bubbles are kind of getting to me. Let's come over here and let's see what we can do about that. Particles, no. Animations, potion particles. There we go. All better. I've been leaving those on for some reason. They're making it a little bit difficult when I'm out here putting down the sand to see the guardians shoot me with their laser beams. But as you can see, we haven't made a whole lot of progress, but we at least are getting somewhere. If we come down here, you can see we're starting to cast a bit of an imposing presence here with just this giant sand wall. There's well, that's where one of the elders is. And if we come out over here and kind of peek in over here, occasionally we can see, there he is, there's the tail of the other elder guardian. Right there. Can't get to him though. His hitbox is still well within the confines of the blocks. Let's turn our volume down just a little bit because those laser things are kind of annoying. The third elder guardian, of course, is up in there somewhere, and if you watch him long enough, yeah, I see you too. I don't know if this is actually like a thing that you can do where you can kind of sometimes get the guardians to break off their pursuit of you just by kind of staring at them. I've been kind of seeing that. I have to look into that and see if that's the case. Now this one, of course, has already noticed me, so staring at him doesn't seem to work. But that's kind of what I've been gathering. I have to do some research into that and see if that's actually the case. But at any rate, we're making slow and steady progress as we unearth this ocean monument. But doing all this has kind of given me a bit of the old carpal tunnel syndrome in my hand. So we're going to take a break from that. I'm going to be doing this kind of off and on after this episode goes out, and when we come back in the next episode, I'll kind of give you a progress update on how this is going. The other big project that we have to work on is kind of getting the roads here in the colony set up. I mentioned a little bit earlier that I had taken some time to kind of flatten all this out, and you see we've still got a little bit of work to go. I'm not real keen on this little bit here, so we'll probably kind of level this out a little bit closer to the hill line. We'll collect this coal for our collections, and we've got this little section over here that we still have to fill in. But I think we've gotten ourselves a nice little flat area here. If I come over this way, we still have some work to do here. There's some jagged areas that need to get filled in. This section here, yeah, we have to kind of take this part out, collect that coal, use some of that stone to fill this in, kind of flatten out the land a little bit, get rid of this stuff because this is gross. But eventually we're gonna have a nice full area. I gotta fill in this lake too because I don't like this. We're gonna have a nice, fairly flat area along the coastline here. Hi, Enderman, with which to work. But I need to come up with a decent road path. And what Yopi and I had kind of decided on originally was that we were going to use this nether brick because the nether brick kind of has a nice little bit of contrast against this particular shade of green that the extreme hills biome has. And what I'll probably end up doing is slabbing it out, just because that's going to make the nether brick last a little bit longer, and it's going to lend to some aesthetics. And I think what we're going to end up doing is something like this. I don't have a pick or well, I do have a shovel on me. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and dig some of this out as it starts to rain. Perfect timing. But yeah, if we come in here like this and we put, whoop, what am I doing? Wrong button. Put the slabs down. Somebody on the server got sick of that real quick and slept it away. So if we put this down, this is probably going to be what the road looks like. I generally make 5 wide roads instead of 3 wide, but we don't have that much space, especially over there by the hill. And then over here, I have to figure out what I'm going to do. Now, I had thought about doing kind of nether brick stairs there, but I kind of like this prismarine too. I'm thinking maybe we put that down as the kind of step up. It's something a little bit different. The prismarine is still pretty new to the game, so you know, you don't generally see it everywhere, and that lends an interesting contrast. There's also the possibility of making the prismarine bricks, and my kind of derping around here in the crafting bench should show you that I have absolutely no idea how to make those. But maybe the prismarine bricks will look better. I'll have to kind of lay these down kind of side by side, do a comparison, get Yopi to weigh in with her opinions, because the colony is just as much hers as it is mine. And I'm sure we'll come up with some idea for what the roads are going to look like. And then we can actually start doing some real, legit, for real building here at the colony. We're kind of going for a slightly medieval, kind of country townish kind of thing. The kind of thing that you might have seen in maybe the Middle Ages in Europe. That kind of a theme. So I'm thinking a lot of houses with kind of thatched roof kind of setups, maybe cultivate a bunch of hay and use hay to make the roofs, that sort of thing. I don't know how that's going to fit in with our experiment over here with this Guardian farm, but I'm sure we'll think of something. And like a dog that doesn't know what to do with the frisbee once it's caught it, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that thing once we get it all dried out. I've got a couple of ideas in my head. I have given some thought to leaving the Elder Guardians alive, and just kind of building around the structure with them still around, because you can't spawn them in. They don't they don't spawn in like regular mobs do. They're more like bosses that kind of generate with the terrain. But then that's going to make it really hard to do any kind of building. This project would be a lot further along if I had just kind of sucked it up and gone in and killed them by now. But that isn't what I want to do. I want to get this whole thing dried out before we go in and tackle those guys. Man, they are really being jerks to those squid, aren't they? Seriously, what do they have against the squid? Is it because they have like 8 legs to swim around with and they only have the one big flipper? I don't know. Guardians are jerks. I hate them. Hate's a strong word, but I hate them. They do provide lots of prismarine though, and that's going to help us out if we use that in our road build. I had also given some thought to replacing the sand with glass and kind of encasing the thing in a transparent layer of blocks so that we can kind of look on it from here, because eventually that sand wall is going to cover the thing like a curtain. I don't want that to be the permanent setup for that structure. I want to be able to see it from over here. So eventually that'll be glassed in, and we'll figure out what we're going to do. I don't think those Elder Guardians are going to live very long, just because they're getting in the way. Enderman. Oh, seriously. Okay, I feel better now. But yeah, so we've got that big project going on. We've got this big project going on. There's a whole lot of stuff for us to do here on the Fullstack server, and I'm pretty excited about getting all of it going. Hopefully you are too. If you've liked watching me kind of flounder around over there at the ocean monument today, go ahead and hit that like button. If you've really liked it, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and maybe you'll get advanced warning about some of my other derping around on this and other servers around Minecraft. If you've really liked me, go ahead and stalk me on social media. As you've probably figured out by now, I'm darn near everywhere. And until next time, my name is Golfhouse. This has been Fullstack. We'll catch you later.